Well, this California native has been sharing her talent with the world for 3 decades and counting, most recently turning heads as Camille in Harlem, Amazon Prime's much talked about series, my favorite too.
That line used to be around the block to hear you sing.
Girl, yeah, and you hit 30 and used to start sounding like a has-been who never made it.
Stop it. No. No. Oh, no. Oh, my God, duck. What the Right there at the end of the corner.
I do, so fast.
Holy Ian.
For season 2, we have 2 guests with us this morning. One is a beloved actress, director, and activist using her voice to raise awareness about endometrial cancer. The other is the chair of the Foundation for Women's Cancer and vice chair of the Department of Surgery at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Please give a massive welcome to Miss Meagan Good and Dr. Ginger Gardner. I was like, oh, those titles, who run the world? Girls. Good morning to you, too. All right,
Good morning.
Before we get to the life-saving information you guys are here to share with us today, Meagan, I have to say congrats for Harlem being renewed for season 2.
Thank you.
That is my jam. If you hear there's a weird lady lurking around the set for season 2, I am that weird lady. Do not call security. And Dr. Gardner, I am jealous of you that you get to work with Meagan Good on such a great project. Isn't she like the definition
Meagan
of
is awesome.
Right? Definition of beauty inside out, no doubt, right?
Absolutely. So happy to be here today with you.
We're even happier. I am even happier because Meagan, you know you came up when Brisha Webb and Danny Nicolette were on our show talking about how you're an amazing director. And Shaniqua, who we saw in that clip, you directed her music video the day she was on our set. So you have such a platform where you can talk about any and everything you want, but you're choosing to use your platform to raise awareness about this. Why is that?
Yeah, well, for one, I wanted to say that I'm honored to work with Dr. Gardner because of all the work that she's doing. And, you know, we need this. We need to have this conversation. We need to be spreading the word. We need to be coming together. And for me, the reason that I got activated on it was I had a uterine cancer scare some years back. And my gynecologist discovered cells that were abnormal in my uterus, and then, you know, he let me know these could potentially be cancerous or develop into cancerous. And so we took them out by the grace of God. I'm okay, but it was scary because that's the kind of thing that can, you know, stop you from getting pregnant or cause other complications. And so what I wanted to do was just be a part of something that brought awareness to this issue, because it's only 53% of people who are diagnosed in advance if there is an issue. And, you know, so I wanted to make sure that I'm part of the solution and part of the conversation, because it's a very stigmatized conversation, especially within the Black community, especially within women of color. And I want to make it the norm so that we can take care of ourselves and make sure our bodies take us everywhere we were meant to go.
Okay, so Dr. Gardner, so this campaign is to raise awareness for endometrial cancer. And I have friends who have suffered from endometriosis for as long as I can remember, so I know the pain and the discomfort and the suffering they've had to go through. But, okay, but I know of endometriosis. So how, now we're doing endometrial cancer, like what's the connection? Break it down for us so we understand what we're dealing with here.
Absolutely. So endometriosis is actually a benign condition. And that's not necessarily a risk factor for this. Endometrial cancer is abnormal cells of the lining of the uterus, in the uterine lining. And that's the lining that sheds every month with the menstrual bleed. So the symptoms of endometrial cancer are abnormal bleeding, heavy bleeding, bleeding between periods, bleeding after menopause. It doesn't even have to be a lot of bleeding. If it's a change for you, if it's a change in your bleeding pattern, it's worth having the conversation, seeing a healthcare provider, talk about that bleeding pattern, because the opportunity for an easy office endometrial biopsy can be a world of opportunity for early diagnosis, prevention, early treatment, means the world.
All right, so Meagan, I also understand that there's going to be a virtual walk for the campaign. So talk to us about this.
So the virtual walk is basically an opportunity for all of us to come together in a movement and spread the word and make sure that people are getting educated and We want to encourage people to go to spother4ec.com, which is where you can get more information, you can get educated, you can join the community, have these conversations. And we want people to go out and put on your fanny pack, and this goes in front of your uterus, and it's a way to express specifically what you're doing when you're out there doing this virtual walk. And we want you to hashtag SpotHer4EC and let people know that you're out there doing this, and for every mile that is, completed, ASI is going to donate $1 between Force and Share, which are cancer advocacy groups. And look, we're just trying to spread the word and get people truly, truly activated on this issue and talking about something that is way overdue to be talked about.
And Dr. Gardner, quickly, is there are there people who have a higher risk factor of this, or is it if you're just a woman, you just go check for it? Or is it higher in some communities, higher in some people with cancer in their families? Like, how would that work?
You are absolutely right. So endometrial cancer is on the rise. We're seeing an increased rate of endometrial cancer, and this is particularly true for communities of color. In certain populations, we're seeing especially high-risk aggressive cell types. So even more important to raise the conversation together, raise funds, raise awareness about endometrial cancer, and go to spother4ec.com. Get more information, be part of the conversation, because we can all be part of the solution together.
All right, you guys heard Dr. Gardner and Meagan Good. SpotHer4EC.com is the website. Thank you so much to you two for sharing this information. Meagan, I'll see you in Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and I'll see you in Harlem when you're shooting. Don't call the cops. Goodbye to you two.
I won't.